I just wanted to talk about basically in my area where I live. The past 2 years, I've seen a decline in the mental health of my neighbors, people that live nearby. I don't know where they came from, but just people left, right, and centre are losing their ish. And one person that we're aware of is the local crazy person. Now he's been here years. He's the one that's visibly crazy, and he goes around begging spare change. So I haven't seen him for a while. And then today, I must have been out in my local town centre. Shea butter. I love shea butter. I managed to find the right consistency. I love it. I just love shea butter. So I haven't seen him for ages, and then I must have. How are these people chatting outside? I don't want to hear their voices. Just get lost. That's fine. It's fine. It's just, young people with their broken voices. So yeah, it's basically the local crazy person. Like he's like he owned it. Like at the time, 2 years ago, there was very little people who lost their shit. So he was the openly crazy person, and he would beg and he would get lots of money. Today, I must have seen him after a long time, and I looked at him and I said, "This man's not crazy." Because when I look at all the other people around him who are losing their mind left, right, and centre past 2 years, he looked perfectly healthy, perfectly well. Hmm. And then, like, you could see, he felt like such a fraud because everyone around him is losing their mind, and he looks way more stable than they do, and he's lost his business, and he looks genuinely scared that all these people around him are crazy, like officially crazy. He looked perfectly fine. And it's like you can see the difference. So all that time he was putting on an act and he was getting money. That was his way of making money. And he looks visibly fine. So when I walked past him, because I have given him a couple of change years ago, whatever, when he asked for money. And then I was like, "Oh, I haven't seen you in ages. You're looking very well." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, I try. I'm like, "There's nothing wrong with you. Like you can." And he felt like he genuinely felt scared that people around him, were losing their mind. Yet he was known as the local crazy person when he clearly isn't, and the people around him are becoming. And I was like, he couldn't believe it. Like he can't. He lost his job now. He can't even pretend to be crazy anymore because they look more crazy than him. And I'm like, I look at him and I'm like, this man was never crazy in the first place. It was the biggest like financial flex that he was doing, and you can tell he's like, oh my god, like no one's gonna believe me anymore, like because everyone around him is looking crazy. Look, generally lost the plot crazy, and he looked compared to them, he looked like a breath of fresh air. Like he looked more sane than them. They're in their element. They're going through ish. Like I wouldn't even approach him. He seemed more approachable than the people around him. Like he seemed like genuinely, you know, a positive person. And it's like if the local crazy looks more normal than the people around him, and to the point where the local crazy person has noticed everyone losing their their brain. It makes you think, like, what is happening? Like, why are there so much problems? Like, why are these people going crazy? Like, random people talking to themselves. Do you know what I mean? It's like the local crazy person doesn't want to associate with the people. He doesn't have no one to ask change anymore because then they look scary. They look unhinged. He's scared for his safety. He couldn't understand what's going on. Like, hold on a minute, I should be the one asking for change. Like, I'm not asking these people for money. They look unhinged. I'm like, you're looking more. It's like, well, I try. But you can clearly see he's like, what's going on? Like, I thought I was the village crazy. Like, and clearly it was an act to get money. And I mean, these people don't even want money. That's how they lost it. Like, they're not even like capitalizing on their situation. They're clearly in their own zone, suffering, and in their own world, in their own planet, and they're clearly gone. And it's sad to see the state of people. Like, it's sad to see this happen to them. But that is the times we are living in, and yeah, it's quite crazy when I think about it, actually, because it's been a change, a remarkable change. And I'm sure if you go to the next area, there's a change like that as well. So it's not like it's just a lot more in this, like, wow, people with major problems. Like, it's almost like they've just been let loose in one area, and all I'm seeing is just problems, like people who have a lot of issues, and it's not very inspiring. Um, I think the problems have increased, um, and I feel like there's more of them than there is us. Like, I feel like the numbers have grown for whatever reason, whatever issue they've been going through. I just feel like they're just more visible because there is more problems. So we're seeing the evidence on our street where local crazy person doesn't feel safe around them because they're walking around in their own little zone, you know, high as a kite in whatever is going through their mind. And it's just really sad. It's really sad to see it around you. And it just makes you think, like, it's literally like zombies walking around. And you're saying to yourself, like, what the hell? Since when did it get this bad? Like, what's wrong with these people? Where where they've lost their rag. It's not a good thing for children to see as well, to see such hopelessness around them. Like, it's uninspiring. And I just think a lot more needs to be done to address them because, we're seeing such a rise in desperation. And I just hope, things get better for them. Like, maybe it's the cost of living that has alleviated the problems to such high, like, well, that's why it's just literally everywhere, and it's tragic. We see it with the spiral out of control of their lives, and I just hope things get better for them. I really hope, like, because once they're in that dark space, it's very hard for them to come out of it, and it's really hard to see. It's really sad to see people suffering like that, but yeah, that's the times that we are living in.